Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I stood before you a year ago and stated very sincerely that it was a pleasure and a privilege to be addressing you as a manager of Rangers Football Club. As I stand here today, that privilege is, if anything, even greater, with every day that I spend in Glasgow allowing me to gain a deeper appreciation of the history and tradition associated with this true football institution. As has been more than well documented, this club is on its way back from having been burdened and then punished for the actions of others. The task of rebuilding is one that requires commitment, diligence and clarity of vision, but significant progress is being made. We are on a journey, a long-term project designed to return this club to the very top of Scottish football and to the top table of European competition. The rebuilding work required on the pitch is no different from that taking place off it. Both absolutely demand time and patience. We must rebuild on strong foundations, and these cannot be laid down too quickly. The history and tradition to which I refer has seen you, our supporters, reared on a consistent diet of European victories and domestic triumphs. Such a rich history quite understandably leads to a huge weight of expectation. After all, this is a club synonymous with success. However, the market has changed beyond all recognition, and the financial disparity in football terms between North and South has never been greater. The days of top-class internationals, players at the very height of their careers, coming to Glasgow will not return anytime soon. Therefore, this weight of expectation falls on less experienced shoulders. The pride and privilege that comes with pulling on the blue jersey carries with it a very heavy responsibility, and this too must be borne by younger players. Younger players especially need time to come to terms with the significant demands of signing for a club like Rangers. Recruitment-wise, the first-team squad has had a complete revamp over the last 18 months, with 20 new players joining the long-serving Lee Wallace, Kenny Miller and young Barry Mackay. The priceless commodity that such a new squad needs is time, but time is the one commodity that high expectation does not often allow. We must allow this squad to evolve and grow as a team. We need to allow them to learn from their mistakes. We need to allow the younger players to watch the likes of Kenny Miller and Lee Wallace, to watch Clint Hill and Nico Cranshaw, and understand what it takes to be a top-class professional and to play at a club like Rangers. We must be patient and we must allow them time. Every day I spend in Glasgow, I'm constantly told that the weight of expectation is overbearing. I'm constantly told that Rangers supporters have no patience. I keep being reminded constantly this has always been the way. I keep being told it will never change. However, you, the supporters, have had to endure your club being dragged to the bottom tier of Scottish football. You've had to endure the derision and ridicule that accompanied such a fall. But for me, you've also demonstrated the patience and understanding demanded whilst your club worked its way back to the Premiership. It is this bitter experience, it is these painful memories that must never be forgotten and will undoubtedly be used to strengthen all of our resolve. Outside sources will criticise this club, they will choose to forget the recent level of turmoil and they refuse to adopt a realistic perspective. Rangers are fighting back from the very lowest level of Scottish professional football, and having returned to the Premiership, we must first consolidate and prove our competitiveness. Have no doubts, we will keep driving forward, and by doing so, Europe, and then challenging for the title, will follow. What has been so encouraging, so very encouraging, is the number of fans who recognise what is required at this time. There will always be difficulties and setbacks, but we will keep making progress, keep moving forward. There will always be inevitably mistakes will be made, but these will be few and far between. With every day that passes, our unity and togetherness will grow stronger. This remains the biggest football club in the country. And for us to return Rangers back to where we all know it belongs, unity will indeed be key. The chairman and the board, the players and the staff, and every Rangers supporter around the world can unite behind the same common goal of restoring our club to former glories. It is then and only then that we can all take satisfaction from a job well done and look forward to working even harder to achieve new triumphs in the years ahead. Finally, I'd like to highlight a key point that I consistently make in my programme notes. The backing we receive, the numbers of the supporters that follow the team home and away, is something that must never and will never be taken for granted. I would like to again thank each and every supporter for the outstanding efforts and sacrifices they make in following the club. This is indeed the responsibility that I referred to earlier in my speech. The responsibility we have as players and staff members is to you, the supporters, is one that we recognise every single day. I'd like to thank you for your time. I hope very much that the sincerity of this message has been clear, and that, again, it has been my privilege to address you as a manager of Rangers Football Club. Thank you.